Notre Dame is built on faith, tradition, and quads.
Quads are wide open spaces where friends connect, relax, and walk together.
That's the spirit of the Pod Quad Show.
Two Holy Cross priests,
Good friends,
great guests,
talking about life.
We're back for season 2 of the Pod Quad.
Today's guest is someone who radiates joy, compassion, and the kind of energy that can light up an entire residence hall. I'm talking about Marlyn Batista, the incredible rector of Kavanaugh Hall here at the University of Notre Dame. Marlyn was born in the Dominican Republic, raised in Rhode Island, and somehow manages to blend Caribbean warmth with Midwestern hospitality. Before becoming a rector, she taught high school, worked in youth ministry, and even ran a food pantry. She's known around campus for her big laugh, her deep faith, and her ability to make every student feel at home. Whether that's through heartfelt conversations, community celebrations, or a savvy media presence. So sit back and enjoy as we get to know the woman behind the Kavanaugh chaos, the one, the only, Marlyn Batista. Marlyn Batista, welcome.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you here. Nate and I are so very excited about the fact that you were willing to accept our invitation. And so thanks so much for saying yes to be the inaugural member of season 2 in the Pod Quad.
It's an honor, Father Pete. So thank you guys for having me. It's so good to be with you.
So we got to get right at it because you got important work to do back in the residence hall, back in the hall, Kavanaugh Hall, where you find yourself on a daily basis. So some people might not know exactly what a rector is. So could you give people a little explanation about what a rector is? And then furthermore, how did you end up deciding to be one?
Sure thing, yeah. Rectors are professional staff members who live in residence halls. Our job is essentially to share life with students and accompany them in all of their moments while providing witness to the faith. So I live in a residence hall with 200 women and Father Bob, and it is just, yeah, it's a beautiful experience. My journey to it started, I think, when I was back home in Providence. I was a public school kid, so I never experienced Catholic education. My introduction to it was when I became a high school theology teacher. And that was really the first time that I was able to see how powerful a Catholic education could be. It was just so wonderful to be in a place where students could pursue truth and knowledge while at the same time being able to come to know the one who is truth and the source of knowledge. And so when I was teaching at that school, I discovered a passion for Catholic education. And eventually that led me to the University of Notre Dame to pursue a Master's of Divinity, which, as you both know, because you have one, it's a degree that focuses on theology and ministry. And so while I was doing that, I became an assistant rector in Kavanaugh. And that was my first introduction to residential life at Notre Dame. And it was unlike anything I had ever seen or experienced, even in my own time as an undergrad. And I just remember even like one of the first times that I heard the idea that we don't educate the mind at the expense of the heart. And when I heard that, I was like, damn, that's genius. like that is so good. Like, why isn't everybody doing this? Like, this is amazing. And like, imagine if we lived in a world where more institutions of higher learning said, you know what, we don't only want to teach our students how to make a living. We're going to do that, but at the same time, we want to teach our students how to live well. And so when I was here as a student and as an AR, I really bought into that. I thought it was so amazing. And so when I graduated, I felt the call to put my talents at the service of this great work of forming minds and hearts. I think a lot of the formation of the heart happens in the context of community in the residence halls. And this is my 4th year as a rector, and I can tell you that it's been the most meaningful ministry that I've been able to take part in, primarily because I think for me it feels like the closest imitation of Christ and his ministry that I've been able to do. Because if you think about what he did, it's, the word became flesh and dwelt among us. And he walked around with, 12 guys day in and day out and Like he laughed with them, he got mad at them, he fell asleep on them. Like he did so many things, and like that's essentially what we get to do in the residence hall.
That's beautiful. And I think at this point we should encourage people to like consider applying to be a rector. You know, we should be rectors in the spring.
It's a beautiful life.
And this Father Bob guy, what does he do around the university?
Low key, he's the president of the university.
That Father Bob.
Yeah, that is that one.
All right, great.
She's his landlord.
Well,
Yeah, I'm his rector, you know, so I'm his rector. So.
On behalf of Father Nate and I, please say nice things about us.
I
Say
got
how much
you.
you enjoyed the pod quad.
I will.
You
I
know?
will. I'll let him know.
All right, thank you.
That's awesome. I love that you gave a nice little shout out to our founder, Blessed Basil Moreau, and a heart and mind. I love that. And Catholic education, what a beautiful way to get into being a rector.
Yeah.
Okay, so folks might know you from your YouTube series, which is a viral, I think it's fair to say it's viral.
100%. 100%.
The persona of Mark Queen
Yes.
and Grandma now.
Yes.
This is just such a fun thing that you do. And if you haven't seen these, you've got to look these up. They're so much fun. They cover everything from how to make mac and cheese without burning down the dorm to,
Yes.
let's see, hydration, cleaning, and flushing.
Yes. An important skill.
Okay, so these are great. I love the basic videos and stuff. Give us a sense of how this came about. Was there like a moment that precipitated you starting these videos, or was it just like 1,000 little cuts, paper cuts that kind of put you over the edge? No names if you don't want to.
I won't drop any names.
Okay.
But I will say that I think the kind of what got the video started was a little bit of desperation on my part, because you can only say the same thing so many times
Yes.
before you kind of are at a loss and don't know what to do. So also when you live with people, like no matter how much you love them, sooner or later, they're probably going to do some things that annoy you, and you're going to do some things that annoy them. So for me, what pushed me over the edge was we have these recycling bins in the residence halls. And in my opinion, the recycling bins very clearly say that you should not put cardboard boxes in them. Like it is in big letters. There's even signs on the wall and all of that. And the beautiful women of Kavanaugh Hall continued to put cardboard boxes into these toters. So I sent messages, I sent an email. One day I was minding my own business on my way to the laundry, and I came across a recycling bin that was overflowing with cardboard. And the cardboard was not even broken down, nothing. And there happened to be a student walking by, and I was just kind of like, hey, can you record me real quick? I'm gonna do a training video, because maybe it's that they don't know how to break down the boxes or take them outside. And so I recorded this video kind of like in desperation. And then I thought the students would be more likely to watch it if it was shorter. So I sped it up, which made my voice sounded like it was high pitched. And I dropped it into our chat. And the students just loved it. Like they thought it was hilarious. But also I think like seeing the message relayed in that way, it helped them to pay attention a little bit more, because I wasn't yelling at them or doing anything like that. But I was making fun of the situation, like, hey, we know we're not supposed to do this. Why don't we do a better job at taking care of things? And so that was kind of the origin story of the show. So the show is called Basic Life Skills with Mark Queen, and it's exactly what it sounds like. I teach college students very basic life skills. So again, thinking, flushing. Sometimes it's skills that you would think that college students came with, but for one reason or another, the skill is not being manifested in our hall. So I don't have consistent episodes. They are always a response to a problem. And typically, if I've done an episode about something, just know that there is a backstory as to why that episode happened. Like if something happens once, I'm not gonna make an episode about it. But if something happens multiple times, we're gonna have some education. So for example, my latest episode, how to make mac and cheese. Now, it was a Friday night, and I was sleeping peacefully. in my bed.
I bet you weren't for long.
And at about 3 in the morning, the fire alarm in Kavanaugh starts going off. And so, we all get up. Now, again, I was sleeping, so I'm in my bonnet. Like I'm not like outside worthy. Like it's just, but you got to get out when the fire alarm is going. So we all come outside, all of us, including Father Bob, like we're out there. And the Notre Dame fire comes, and they find that what tripped the fire alarm was a burnt mac and cheese container. Apparently, one of my girls had put the mac and cheese to cook with no water, and I don't know how long it was in there for, but like the container was like it was burnt to a crisp. Like it was. Yeah, it had started to come apart.
Oh my God.
And so the first time it happened, I was like, you know what? We all make mistakes.
Yeah, sure.
Like it happens. And my girl didn't even get to eat because she burned it. Like that sucks. But then the next weekend, same thing.
No.
I'm in my bed, minding my own business, asleep peacefully. 4:30 in the morning.
4:30 this time.
Yes.
Oh, even better.
Fire alarm goes off again. And when the fire department came, once again, mac and cheese burnt to a crisp. And at that point, I was like, you know what? We can't live like this. The women of Kavanaugh Hall have me out here in my bathrobe, my bonnet. They have Father Bob out here. Like we don't need to live like this. And hence why I made the mac and cheese video. So pretty much every episode that I do has kind of like a backstory.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like that. So.
I mean, Nate and I both watched that one, and
Yeah.
one of the key takeaways is look, do
Yes.
not turn away.
Yes.
Look.
Yes, that's a key. That's
Yeah.
key because you can stop disasters from happening if you just stay there with your food.
All right, so you've introduced though a new character this year.
I have, yes.
Can you talk a little bit about this new character?
Yes, so this new character is called Grandma. So Grandma is Marqueen's grandmother.
Yes.
And we bring Grandma out for the more serious conversations that need to happen. And again, the women have loved the character, so I think we're gonna keep her going. The origin story of Grandma is I was talking with one of my colleagues, Mike Urbaniak, and I was telling him how sometimes I feel like a grandma when I go outside of Kavanaugh because Kavanaugh is my home, and so when I come outside and I don't know what's happening on North Quad, I kind of feel like somebody should have told me. And so I got out there and I'm like, what's happening out here? Like, why didn't anybody let me know? This is my backyard. And so I was telling Mike this, and he was like, you should come up with a grandma character for your episodes. And so I thought about it, and then we had, before the first football game this season, Grandma just dropped some advice on how to survive game day successfully. And wouldn't you know it, we survived game day successfully, and I think Grandma had something to do with it.
I mean, people respect their elders around this
Exactly.
campus.
They
give her
really
credit.
do.
All right, so let's, in the spirit of thinking about the great women of Kavanaugh, one of the great joys of being a rector is you have the chance to journey with students in the midst of mac and cheese, but also in the midst of any number of other life decisions. It goes back to that education of heart and mind concept that you were talking about, the great wisdom that Father Moreau has to offer. Could you talk to us a little bit about the sacredness of entering into those relationships?
Yeah.
These people that you have the privilege, through random assignment, of coming to live in Kavanaugh, that you have the privilege of serving as the pastor for.
Yeah.
And what's that been like for you, and how have you guided them along?
Yeah, it's honestly been such a beautiful experience that has helped me to learn about like God's own care for me, as Him being my shepherd, and then His invitation to me to care for the students entrusted to my care as He cares for me. And so I think, it's been truly a formative experience for me. One of my favorite, I have two moments I think every year that are really, really sacred or special in my mind that stand out. One of them is always Welcome Weekend. That's the first time that our students move into our residence halls. And the other is graduation. And I think the reason why those two moments really stand out for me is because these students, like you said, Father P, are entrusted to our care through random assignment. Like they just luck of the draw, they ended up in my care.
Yep.
And my job is to know them, to know their story, to walk with them through the ups and downs of their time at Notre Dame. And most of the time, like it really is a transformative experience for students. Like they come in their freshman year, and by the time you see them, walking into the stadium for graduation, they've completely been transformed. And so it just, there's just so many parts of it that are just so beautiful. Like seeing one of the things that I think makes Notre Dame so special is our upperclassmen are just phenomenal. Like these students sign up to move back early, to carry people's things, to like cheer for people. And Kavanaugh doesn't have AC. We are, Cav's new street name is the Presidential Palace. But that doesn't mean we have AC. We still don't have AC. And so like my girls sign up to come and work in this heat, like to provide a welcome for other students that was given to them. And so it's just so beautiful to me to be able to, receive those students on Welcome Weekend, knowing they haven't done anything yet. But the welcome that we try to give them is, a reflection of the way that God, loves us. Like we don't need to do anything for him to love us. We are his creation. And by virtue of, that, we are infinitely loved. And so that's what we try to communicate to our students when they get here. And then seeing them respond to the invitations that God makes to them along the way. I almost, a lot of times I feel like I'm graduating with the students. Like I remember one time last year, I saw a girl walking into the stadium, and I was like, girl, we had a lot of late nights. We did, me and you, but we made it. We got here.
We did it.
We did it together.
That's great.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. So you talked about your famous resident here, Father Bob, our university president. Talk to us a little bit about what that's been like to have Father Bob in the dorm. And I mean, that was a very particular choice he made when he was first named president, to stay in the dorm. So what's that been like for you, for your residents, and for Father Bob? And why would he have made that decision to stay in Kavanaugh?
Yeah, that's a great question, Father Nate. I have loved seeing Father Bob step into the presidency. I think he's just such a great, kind man. What you see is what you get with Father Bob. It's been, I think, a bit of an adjustment for me and the ladies of Cav, because apparently he's the president of the whole university and not just Kavanaugh Hall. So we're learning that we have to share Father Bob with everybody else, which we weren't used to, because Father Bob has always had, positions of leadership at the university, but before he became president, he was he was celebrating our masses every single week and all of that. So it's been an adjustment for us, but I think it's one that has been filled with joy, just getting to, see him live into this moment. And the decision to live in a residence hall, I'd love to tell you guys a story of how that unfolded, because he told us the day that the announcement came out that he wasn't moving out of Kavanaugh Hall. So from the moment that Father Jenkins, I don't know what you call it, retirement?
Announces retirement.
Yeah. From the moment that happened, the girls started speculating. They thought Father Bob should be the next candidate. They came up with unofficial campaign posters. They were doing the most. So I will never forget that the announcement that Father Bob was becoming the president of the university came out on a Monday. I will never forget that because of what unfolded that day. So I remember I was sitting in the office, again, trying to mind my own business. That's what I try to do sometimes. And I just there. And all of a sudden, I start hearing screams in the hallway. And I'm like, what is going on? And I see that the announcement has come out. When I open that email, I see Father Bob looking at me. I was shook. I was so shook. And immediately, the Kavanaugh chat starts blowing up. And so Father Bob Kavanaugh celebrates masses on Monday nights at 9 p.m. And Father Bob did this event called Smoothies with Father Bob right after mass on Monday nights. So the chat starts blowing up, and the girls are like, "All right, everybody has to go to mass today, and we gotta throw Father Bob a surprise party at Smoothies. All right, let's Mark Queen, can we order some cookies? Let's go get some poppers." And yeah, and like like it's going crazy. So I text Father Bob, and I was like, "Hey,
How's your day?
congrats. Are we still on for tonight? Just checking." And like he didn't have time to answer my message. Like he didn't get back to me. So the whole day I was like holding my breath because I'm like, the girls are planning this big thing for him. I don't know if he's gonna be able to come. And they also immediately started asking me what that meant if he was gonna move out.
Sure.
Yeah.
So 8:50 rolls around, Father Bob comes in, very nonchalant as he usually does, and he gets ready for mass. And after mass, when we were on our way to Smoothies, I had like 30 seconds to talk to him before we got downstairs. And in those 30 seconds, I was like, "Okay, Father Bob, I need you to listen to me. The girls are very excited that you're now the president, and they want to know if you're moving out. So I'm telling you this now because they're probably going to ask you this question when we get downstairs. So if you got to come up with an answer, please know that you're going to need it by the time we get down there." And he was like, "Okay." And so we got downstairs, and the girls started cheering. They had printed pictures of his face, which, you know, it's what they do.
Yeah.
And like as soon as the cheering died down, the very first thing Father Bob said was, "Thank you so much. I just want you guys to know that there's no place I'd rather live than with the women of Kavanaugh Hall."
Wow. That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was just it was so beautiful and so naturally the girls went wild. It was amazing. And I mean I think when you work at an institution like Notre Dame, you do it for the students. And so I feel like part of the reason why he may have chosen to continue living in a residence hall is because that keeps him very connected to the students, right? Sometimes the higher you go in administrative roles, the more removed from students you are. But when he gets home, the girls could care less that he's president. They just like go and talk to him and like ask him the most random questions and the weirdest questions at times too. I try to help them, but they don't. They just do what they do, you know? In Father Bob's inauguration speech, he was like, "The women of Kavanaugh Hall have prepared me for the presidency." And I know exactly what he's talking about because like they ask him the wildest things all the time. All the time.
That's great.
So I want to jump now in light of this. You know, you have so many skills. You are the rector of the president of the university.
I am.
You are also a social media darling with multiple personas. But you are also a singer.
I am, yes.
And you have you perform and you lead the women of Kavanaugh Hall in praise and worship. And so what we're really interested in, and this is kind of touching base back with the kind of broader set of skills that you need to have as a rector. You know, one of the aspects is you're thinking liturgically. You're thinking about how do you help people pray? How do you help a community to pray?
Yeah.
So you, as the rector of a women's hall at Notre Dame, what have you learned about bringing a group of college-age women together to pray and to come to know God more fully?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've learned has been the importance of showing rather than just telling. Like students know the difference between someone who is just saying things to say them versus someone who truly believes and shows by the way that they live what they believe. And I think that's contagious and that's interesting and that's challenging to students. I think one of the things I love about our residential life model is that everyone is opted in. And so we work with students who might be very, very Catholic and take their faith extremely serious. But we also have students who may not even believe in God, but they chose to come to Notre Dame. And so what we get to do in the residence hall is be a witness to all of them through the way that we live. And so I think in a job like this one, it's so important to try to be tapped in to what is the Lord inviting you to do? Because there are some students who I think like they come in, they don't believe in God at all. But then things happen, and life brings them to their knees. And the Lord provides opportunity for you to be able to speak life into them. Does that make sense? And so I think like with my own, something else I've learned is like the importance of trying to like put your gifts at the service of, the ministry that you've been called to. I was hesitant at first to, to sing and to lead praise and worship. I came from, in my hometown, I did that constantly. And so by the time I got here, I was kind of tired of it. And I was like, you know what? These people don't even know I sing, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. And I felt like the Lord was, like, really challenged me on that, because I remember just being in the chapel and like the thoughts were coming to me that when you have a gift or when you have like an ability that's been granted to you and you choose to hide it or you choose not to put it to the service of God, it's almost as if you're robbing the people of God like from the thing that God wants to give them through you. And so I really felt like the Lord challenged me on that. And so one of the ways that I started to try to like put that gift specifically at the service of the Lord is by leading praise and worship in Eucharistic adoration in Kavanaugh. And the way that I try to do is like I invite the women to come and to join me, and some of them do, but I also let them know like, hey, I want you to know that what I'm doing at this time is I am sitting here singing and praying for you and for your intentions. And so you don't have to come, but just know that I am praying for you. And if you are able to come, I would love that. I would love to be able to pray with you, but even if you don't, I'm here praying. The Lord is here waiting. And so, when I'm sitting there on a Monday night and I turn on I make sure I turn on the speakers because I want the girls to hear. I know that they can hear me outside the chapel, and my hope is even if they don't come, they can hear the music even lightly and remember I'm being prayed for and I'm not alone.
It's just beautiful.
Mic drop.
Well, geez,
Podcast.
we're done here. That's so beautiful. Wow. What a gift. What a gift to them. Okay, so from that very
We're all over the place.
That's okay. That's how life is.
Switching a little gears for you. So you're on North Quad.
Yeah.
Father Pete and I are solidly on South Quad.
Yes.
We're more of a South Dining Hall gravitational pull there. But I'm assuming you're more of a North Dining Hall person.
100%.
Yes. Okay. So give us your dining hall hacks.
Okay. I have 2 that are coming to mind.
Nice.
So, actually 3. So the first is you need to go to the dining hall at strategic times because
Yes.
you gotta
Yes.
know when to go. Otherwise, you're gonna be in lines till kingdom come. Like it's gonna,
right.
it's just too long. So a great time to try to go is right before classes get out. Like 12, I'm there. Because by 12:30, it's like this,
Forget
but
it.
I'm sitting down, just having my meal peacefully with whoever I'm eating with. So that's one.
Okay.
I love to eat the ice cream with the Oreos pieces,
Yes.
right? Sometimes we run out of Oreos, and that is always a sad moment. But when we run out of Oreos, something that you could do is you could go over to the cereal. And I like to throw in a little bit of Cinnamon Toast Crunch or a little bit of Captain Crunch. And it just is beautiful. It's a beautiful experience. I highly recommend it.
It sounds like something you would do.
100%. I'm just annoyed I never thought of it.
Like you should try it. Try it. Let me know what you think.
I will.
Yeah. So those are 2. And then I have one that comes from one of my students, Amaya. So she taught me this. So you get a grilled cheese, and then you get a piece of the fried chicken.
Yes.
Okay. You cut the fried chicken in half.
Yes.
Right? Just so it's like cutlets. Open the grilled cheese. Put one on each side.
Yes.
Put a tomato in it.
Whoa.
Chipotle ranch sauce. And have it as a sandwich. Heavenly. Shout out Amaya for that hack.
That's pretty amazing.
I mean, seriously, the creativity. I mean, this is the thing.
That's
like,
Iron
students,
Chef level.
That is
Yeah.
legit. You know, our students go in and they eat at the dining hall. The dining hall staff does an amazing job. But like the creativity that our students and staff members, frankly, are able to demonstrate in terms of like, I got a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B,
Yeah.
and voila,
Boom.
got you.
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece. Okay, so you've received some excellent advice when it comes to dining here on this beautiful campus, our ladies' campus.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you out of here on this one.
Okay.
What's one piece of advice that you have received that you'd like to offer to PodQuad Nation?
Okay.
Something that you think has moved you, has impacted you, that you think should be shared.
I think probably the best piece of advice that I was ever given was no matter what, keep showing up. Because whether in this life or the next, better days are coming. And on the days where like it's difficult to believe or you don't have the strength to believe, let the faith of the church carry you. And I think that's anytime I'm having a difficult moment, I go back to that. Just keep showing up. That's half the battle. And eventually, whether in this life or the next, better days are coming.
Marlyn, that is not only sound advice, but this entire conversation has been strong. Thank you so much for your time, for the energy and the great insight. And so on behalf of myself and Nate and everyone listening to this podcast, thank you. Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This has been so fun.
It's our honor.
As we mentioned at the beginning, this is season 2 of the PodQuad. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you may have noticed we have a new set and we have a new final segment. So our new final segment is called The Last Lap. And those bells that you just heard from the Basilica of the Sacred Heart at Notre Dame signify the last lap here. So our last chance to get some thoughts and ideas about that great conversation with Marlyn.
First of all, she's just amazing. I could have listened to her for a lot longer than what we had the chance to be able to spend time with her. But the thing that struck me about Marlyn is her sincerity, her authenticity. You know, you can see why she's such a great rector and why she's such a respected minister on this campus. Like, she is who she is, and she ministers from that place. And I really do think it gives people permission to then do the same.
Yeah.
To like, oh, wait, I can be authentically myself. And that sets me free to kind of live in a manner that God has called me. And how beautiful is that?
What an important thing for her students to know and embrace. I love that. Yeah, I was just really struck by her, the way that she articulates that idea of accompaniment.
Right on.
Of like walking with students, and the way that she relates it so beautifully to her faith and keeps making those ties. It's just no wonder that that the students really connect with her and grow in their faith, I'm sure, because of her example. So it's just really beautiful to see somebody living out their vocation and serving the Lord in such a wonderful way here on our campus.
Truly educating heart and mind.
Yeah.
People are like, well, what does this mean? Well, Marlyn's a great example.
Yeah.
Spend a day walking around with Marlyn, you'll get a real clear understanding what that means.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in to this first episode of the second season of the PodQuad. Grateful for your time, and we'll see you around the quad.